So you're coming all the way through the tunnel?
Yeah.
Okay. You kind of come through, and this is starting to get a little bit packed in here. I mean, it's like a decent closet size, but you know, like 2 more people in here, and it's going to be a party.
Okay.
You kind of come up to the door, and it's a very ramshackle door. It looks like the ones that you guys kind of saw earlier in this cavern, where it's almost as if they ripped the door frame off and then just put it up in between 2 walls. So you see faint light kind of trickling through it. Not bright, but just, you know, unless you get closer and really dig into this thing, that's all you kind of see.
Okay.
As you're kind of removing the gags, and which one do you go to first?
The man, I guess.
Man.
Sure.
You go up to him, and you could see where he was like trying to be the strong figure, kind of. So he kind of, you take the gag off of him, and he's just like, thank you. Where did you come from? Where
did you go? Okay. Found American. We came from Lion's Arch to try and find you guys. I think we met some of your fellow travelers who escaped. I think it's you guys we're looking for. I don't know. We heard there were people that needed help, so we're here.
did you find the others?
Crap. No, there are others. Do you know where they might be?
No, we were brought down here. I was knocked unconscious. I'm sorry, I can't remember much, but
That's okay.
when I came to, we were here, and we've been trapped.
Yeah, the only other ones we've met were the ones who were in the town. We got as much information from them as we could, and we took off. So, no, you're the first people we found since leaving.
How did you get in?
I'm gonna peek my head around this corner, and I'm gonna look over Silvis, and I'm gonna say, I think it's time that we untie them and get out of here. We can talk later.
Yeah, good point.
And then I turn around and I say, go back that way.
Wiggle.
I'm gonna take out my javelin, and I'm gonna stick it into the ground and sort of prop it up against the door.
Okay. Roll a dex check for me, and roll a dex check. See how quickly you can kind of get these people in.
Ah!
Oh god.
6.
6? Okay.
1.
1.
Okay, so we got a 1 over there.
Oh my god.
So, it takes you a couple of minutes, and you know you're not sure if it's because the light's coming from your hand and you're trying to use your hands to untie people, but you just kind of, it takes you a lot longer than it really should to untie these people. But over the course of 5 minutes or so, you kind of struggle and get everything together, and you get these 3 people, the man, woman, and teenager, kind of untied. They give you a very quiet thanks, and you know it takes about 5 minutes. You 2 were on the other side, kind of just tapping your feet and like, come on.
Ma'am.
Oh, I started leaving as soon as I told them.
Yeah. So I would assume you guys are kind of.
If you want to, we can have allies and whatnot be D6s, and then like enemies be like D8s and whatever.
Okay, sure.
So
Do not have the bag with all the miniatures.
No.
Dang.
roll over the course of this 5 minutes. You see Torin kind of prop up this. You take a look at it, and you're like, that'll hold. And he's very proud of himself. He's like, yeah, this javelin, that's got that door.
Oh no.
The door's on a double axle. It opens both ways, doesn't it?
Roll a stealth
be
check
funny.
for me, and you too.
Damn right, I didn't check
19.
the way the door
Darn.
opened.
Roll a stealth check for me.
Oh, this is gonna be bad. I don't know
If you
what
didn't
that
mean
was.
to roll it, does it count? That's your
I'm
that's how you-
honestly, if you didn't mean to let it go, then go ahead and re-roll.
Oh, yeah,
I'll give you that to you, but from here on out, no bullshit.
Ding!
Alright,
Keep it.
15.
Cool!
So,
Bounce.
as you guys kind of slowly start getting them all together, it takes you 2 minutes. You get the man undone. 4 minutes, the woman's undone. After 5 minutes, you come to the small teenage girl, and she's just hyperventilating, just trembling under your hands. Do you do anything? It's been about 5 minutes. You guys are you're hearing rustlings coming down from the end of this tunnel, but you're not sure what's going on.
I was
Try
rolling
calming
for
her down.
patient.
Yeah, I was looking to see if I had anything that would be able to do that.
Just a straight charisma roll.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try and calm her down.
Okay.
Persuaded? Well, it's up
What?
to you.
Just tell me what you're gonna do. You haven't told me what you're gonna do.
I was thinking, okay, got the glowing bottle. Can I make like a little flower grow on my hands or something and just try to use that to calm her? Like, hey, here's something.
Roll
We got
a
this.
wisdom check with I'd say from your background, I'd say with advantage.
Okay. 18. 2.
Okay.
So 18.
Well, good.
Add your modifier.
Oh, 21.
Okay. So you kind of like you see this girl, and before you remove her gag, you see her trembling and just in utter fear of this situation, and you kind of just take a minute and Torn, you look over and you just see green lights just kind of pulsing down his arm, and he just with a small flourish, and you pull a just lightly glowing green lily, and you just hand it to her. And she kind of takes her unbound hands and she looks at it for a moment and just, you see her just,
Yeah.
and you take one moment and then you kind of look at her and you give her a small nod and she nods back and you remove the gag and everyone's free. What are you guys doing?
Get the hell out. We're gonna go back through the
Let's
tunnel.
go.
I was gonna try and push them to go before us and then follow behind.
Alright, stealth checks.
19.
A 3. What the hell?
You should have done it like this.
God.
I should have asked this before, but what's the marching
Let's
order?
roll my dice.
Huh?
How about
I
that?
should have asked this before, but what's the marching order? You've got
No,
three
he
civilians.
put
said
us
there
there.
he was
Oh,
gonna
okay.
push them
They,
through.
I was gonna say, I
Okay.
pushed them ahead and then I followed.
So I'm assuming, Torn,
So,
you're holding up the rear?
Yeah.
Okay.
I rolled a 3 plus dexterity. So it's 4.
What kind of armor do you have?
Chainmail.
Chainmail.
Yes, the loudest.
That
the
was actually
clinkiest.
a disadvantage.
Oh.
Well, he's not gonna succeed. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
he's still lower than a 10, regardless.
Clink, clink.
So as you kind of see Sylvis like hurriedly usher these three people down into this tunnel, and they're just whispered like, "Go, go, go, go! His friends on the other side, go!" And they kind of blindly follow you because they can't really
At this
see
point,
anything.
I'm gonna start kind of low voice ushering these people through here now that I see them kind of
Okay.
looking out.
Following your voice, they have no trouble kind of following through. It takes them, just maybe a minute total to shuffle their way along. Sylvis, you're about halfway down the tunnel, and then Torin, you turn and you're like, "All right, let's head down this tunnel." And as you're going down, you, what would you like to do?
Just try to continue down the tunnel.
Okay.
I see little stars, but I try to get my bearings. And continue down the tunnel.
Roll a dex check for me.
Hey.
Roll like Graham showed you.
Right.
Or actually, I'll say
Damn.
acrobatics.
Hey, it was pretty good though. It was,
Or athletics.
It was a
Athletics.
17.
Athletics.
17 athletics. I got a proficiency in that, so plus a 7.
Okay.
20.
So you deftly, like, after ringing your own bell, kind of like hit the dirt and just like fucking out of a horror movie, just start like crab walking as fast as you can down. As you do this, you kind of hear, and then as you kind of glance behind you as you're scurrying along, you see your spear just kind of like,
Yeah.
Damn.
and then, and this goblin kind of like looks in, and he takes a second, and he looks around, and he notices this place is empty, and he just turns back and, what would you guys like to do?
Okay, in the time that it took to do that, am I out of here?
I would say during that time you are out of there, Torn. You're halfway down the tunnel.
Okay. I'm pushing these people back further, and I'm gonna try and get everyone to get kind of in like a battle formation around the entrance to this tunnel.
Yo, was the fork in the tunnel before or after the trap?
I don't remember.
Okay, I got it.
Both traps were after.
Okay.
There was basically at the front of this tunnel there was the wall trap, and it has been disengaged as far as you can tell. Then the fork in the tunnel was a good 40 or 50 feet ahead of that.
Okay.
So,
Coming from where we are.
Like going that way,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
so. Is our game plan going to be to run, or are we going to try and collapse this tunnel and?
We should try to leave. I do not think that we should stay here and fight.
Okay.
So we,
We're gonna fight?
so
He says run, and we've got those 3 people to protect.
you say collapse this tunnel, and so I've got my axe ready for Torin to come out, and I'm gonna smack the wall with
What about your hammer?
not the axe, the hammer. Is what I meant.
Okay.
After he comes out.
Yeah.
So Devona kind of sees what you're going for, and she's like, I like it. And, so she kind of squares up. So
I jump
Torin,
out
as
of
you
the way.
come scuttling out the
Yeah,
sides,
we're
kinda,
gonna scooch.
you
sorry.
see both Devona and Miriam. They just like 2 fucking baseball players just take gigantic swings at the top of this tunnel.
Alright.
Roll to hit.
Roll the hit.
The wall.
Hey, 20!
Okay.
Nice.
So then roll damage for me.
Hammers D12.
2-handed, yes.
Yeah.
Or D10. D10.
Is it easier?
What kind of way? Is it a two-handed? Like is it a versatile?
It's basically it's versatile.